Tonight, I want to talk about thug love and relationships. Uh, is loving a thug worth it in the end when it comes to being involved in a relationship? Uh, I'm looking at two separate incidents. One which occurred in Memphis, and another incident that occurred in Milwaukee. The first incident, uh, we have a young man by the name of Brandon Isabel, and Brandon lured his baby mother to a wooded area here in the city of Memphis, murdered her, and then he threw per Brandon, you know, threw his 2-year-old child's body into the Mississippi River. This is what he reported and confessed to the police once he was captured for the crime. The second incident deals with a young man out of Milwaukee, Larvell Huddleston. He was a rapper, went up under the rap name Velly Vale. And it appears that, Velly Vale was going through a breakup with his baby mother. An altercation ensued, and someone, I guess, familiar with both parties attempted to intervene and break up, the little altercation that was going on, and that individual was murdered by Velavel, who then murdered his baby mother, but he didn't harm his child. He was shooting at the police, in an attempt to have his life taken by the police. But in the end, he eventually took his own life. And what is so disturbing about this situation is the fact that the child witnessed all of this going on, as well as a lot of viewers that was on Facebook Live, because this incident occurred on Facebook Live. The child witnessed his father take the life of a person that tried to intervene between his father and his mother. The child then witnessed his father take his mother's life, and he witnessed his father take his own life. Now, I don't really know the age of the child. The child was, from what I saw online, he was very young, possibly 2 years old, maybe 3. And he may remember this as time goes on, but he may not, being that he's so young. But this would be a traumatic experience for an adult, let alone a child, to have to go through this. But we're starting to see that this is becoming more and more common within our community. But is it because many of our women, uh, many of our women choose to become involved in relationships with quote unquote thugs in the community? Uh, Now, in the case of Brandon Isabel, I can't just say that he's a thug, but I've seen pictures, to suggest as much, the cocking of the hats, and so have you, you know. Uh, you know that he has had some dealings with the streets. Uh, in Valleyville, you know, he uh, he had an album. He had an album called I think Warning Before Destruction. He had an album called Warning Before Destruction, and he had a little icon image of himself holding a AK, what appeared to be a AK-47, little comical drawing of him holding what appeared to be an AK-47 rifle in his hand. I mean, you tell me. But I understand why women choose to involve themselves with street guys. They feel protection. You know, that's the main reason. They feel protected. You know, they know that if anything come about, as long as she with him, he gonna handle it because he don't take no mess. He know how to deal with things as they come out in these streets. So, you know, protection is one. And then, a lot of these street guys are popular. Their names are ringing within the confines of their community, their city, their town. Their names are known, real street guy, you know, bona fide street guy. And a lot of women like that. Now, I'm not here to try to tell nobody who they need to date or any of that. I'm just, you know, uh, discussing two incidents that have occurred within our community within the past few days of each other. And I'm looking at circumstances and situations that led to these incidents. In the case of Brandon, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't want to be a father. He didn't want to be the father of a child. And I don't know if he probably stated this to his baby mother, but from information I gathered out the news, he didn't want to be a father to the child. And in the case of Villa Vale, from little bits and pieces of information that I could gather, it appears that he was going through a breakup with his baby mother. You know, he couldn't deal with the breakup. But when dealing with individuals from the streets, when dealing with thugs, you're accepting the life of a thug. You're accepting, thug love. You're accepting what comes with being a thug. You're accepting the streets. You're accepting possible danger. You want to be protected, but you opening up danger that could come about to not only yourself but to your child when you deal with an individual that's out in these streets doing what street guys do. Uh, I don't have the answer, when it comes to relationships and who people need to date. I'm just throwing out what I've observed and what what I've observed in life, and as I continue to live this life, I keep observing that anytime you become involved in these type of relationships, they never get any better. They can potentially be toxic as hell. They never get any better. Uh, and only the lady that's entertaining the thought of wanting to be with this type of individual can answer that question, whether she thinks that she needs to be in a relationship with this person or not. Now, a lot of these young women are professional women. They have little careers, but all that means nothing once you become involved with a street thug, a street guy, you know. Not calling them thugs, but, you know, this is potentially what can happen if you involve yourself with individuals in the streets. In the case of Villa Bear, he did mention something about mental illness. He said that he had been through a lot, he was going through a lot, and I'm sure all of that was true, you know. And I'm sure it was signs, he was giving signs, letting people know what was going on with him. Most people do, but he wasn't able to deal with it or address this issue in time. He wasn't able to address the issue before he did the unthinkable. You know, got a lot of street guys that got mental health issues going on, and a lot of these issues are battles that they are fighting within themselves, but they don't know how to express what's going on with them, or they feel that that's a sign of weakness to talk to someone about what might be going on with them. And before you know it, you are in a toxic relationship, which may be the end of your life. You know, uh, my heart goes out to the families of all these individuals. My heart goes out to the little child in Milwaukee that's still alive and witnessed all of this. Uh, Man, just really tragic what's going on in our community. When gone are the days when black people used to say, man, black people don't do that. Man, we don't do that. We don't kill ourselves and we don't do that. More and more, we're seeing black people massacring whole families every day now. We're seeing black people wiping out whole entire bloodlines at the hands of each other every day now. We're seeing more and more black people committing suicides now. You know, a lot of black on black violence when it comes to relationships now. So, you know, long gone are the days where black people didn't used to do this and didn't used to do that. That's over with. You know, it's gonna be more to, it's gonna be more the same as time go on. You know, just hope and pray that it doesn't happen to you in your situation. Until next time.